Imagine you're on a dating site with hundreds of potential partners and profiles to choose from. Who do you choose? What do you look out for? And most importantly, how long does it take you to decide if you're gonna swipe left or right? That, my friend, is exactly how recruiters and hiring managers view your CV. They look for a CV that is easy on the eye, good looking, shares similar values to their organization, but most importantly, they look for the CV that brings to the table what they need. It sounds very similar to a Tinder profile, doesn't it? Hi, my name is Ntwanie and I'm a creator, and in today's video, I want to do a deep dive into the structure of your CV. And in this video series, in the next coming videos, we will look into how to actually word your CV, the 5 golden rules that I've learned. We'll look at some of the things that you should probably exclude from your CV and some of the things that you should include in your CV. And lastly, we'll finish off the series with what do you do if you do not have any work experience? How do you structure your CV? How do you write that CV? But yeah, without any further ado, let's get on to today's video. As I've already alluded in the beginning, you want the structure of your CV to be easy on the eye, guys. You want the hiring manager to hold your CV and immediately have first good impressions about you. And so you want your CV to be legible, you want it to be at the right font, you want it to be readable at first glance, because the truth of the matter is, as much as you spend 5 seconds deciding on Tinder if you're gonna swipe left or right, the hiring manager spends even less trying to scan through your CV to see the important things. So it's important that your CV is legible, it's important that your CV is structured right, and it contains just the right amount of content. So the first point that I'm gonna make here is about the length of your CV and how long your CV should be. There is no hard and fast rule about this, but it is recommended that if you're a graduate or somebody who does not have any work experience, you keep your CV to a 1-page length. If you are somebody who does have experience between 2 to 5 years, it is recommended to have your CV be 1.5 pages to 2 pages. 2 pages, we're really pushing it. We are aiming here for 1.5 pages. This simply helps you to communicate the important things, communicate the highlights, communicate the relevant points without going on and on and on in your CV. The second portion is, I'd say, the top part of your CV where you have your details. And in this section, it is recommended to just have your name, your surname, your contact details, email address, location, and it is recommended to have a LinkedIn profile. Now, when I talk about address, guys, I'm not talking about your exact thing with your postcode and your house number. Nobody needs to know that, okay? We just need to get a general sense of your location. So if you are in Johannesburg, you just write Johannesburg or Pretoria or UKZN. If you're in London, you write London. If you're in Reading, Manchester, do you get what I mean? So there's no need for you to write your intricate address, because also you don't know where your CV is going to end up. Sometimes you might end up in the wrong hands and it has all of that information about you. The second point I want to make with the top section is having your LinkedIn link. A lot of people, a lot of CVs do not have a link to their LinkedIn profile, and your LinkedIn profile is an extension of your CV. It is important that you have it in there, that you keep it in there, and that the hiring manager can simply go click on it and go see what you have on your profile on LinkedIn. The third thing that I've seen is people still in 2024 including their gender, marital status, date of birth. Guys, we've already spoken about that, and I will speak deeply about these things in a future video about things to exclude from your CV. But just for now, exclude these things from your CV. Now, in the top section still, you have a little section which is your professional summary, or some people call it an intro paragraph, whatever it is that you call it. In my opinion, I don't think it's necessary to have it in there, but obviously writing a CV is a subjective matter and it depends on what you prefer. I do not prefer to have it in there, and so I exclude it from my CV, mainly because I want that to be something included in a cover letter, and we'll speak about a cover letter in a future video as well. So I would exclude that, but if you do want to include it, make sure it contains all the relevant stuff that's relevant for the job. It's communicating your value, and most importantly, it's communicating what you can bring to the table for this organization. The next part of your CV is normally the work experience. Now, I know a lot of people like to bring in their education section before the work experience, but I want you to consider actually bringing your work experience first, because the whole point of a CV is to communicate what you can do for this role rather than what you have studied, unless you are a grad, which then your education should come first, but that is a future video on the series as well. So now when you're on your work experience section, I want you to communicate value. I want you to communicate how you meet what they need. There's a difference between what you bring to the table and what is needed at the table, and what you want to do here is communicate how you can bring to the table what is needed. So i.e. what is in the job description. Search the keywords, use the keywords in the job description to show how your past experiences translate onto this role. Now here's a tip for you when formulating bullet points within this section. You want to use the XYZ formula in formulating the bullet points, and this basically translates to: I achieved X by doing Y as measured by Z. I achieved X by doing Y as measured by Z. I achieved efficiency by project managing the team and the stakeholders all together, enabling us to meet deadline 2 weeks before the set date. That is how you communicate value, and that is how you stand out from the crowd, by showing the impact of your action. So you're not just there describing what you did, but you're also there showcasing the impact of what you did and the result of the actions that you took. The next section of your CV is the education section, and this is where you go wild and tell us what you bring to the table. Tell us of the beautiful degree, an honors degree and master's degree that you did, but remember to put it from the most recent qualification that you have to the least. Make sure to keep it relevant for the job that you're trying to apply for, and also include a snippet of some of the major modules that you did as well that relay that are relevant to the role. And also tell us if you got some distinctions. If you feel like my marks were a little bad and I don't want anyone to know, you don't have to put your marks in there, but this section is where you tell us basically what you bring to the table, what backs your experience. The last section is your interests and your achievements, and this is the part that makes you human. The thing about a CV is it's a piece of paper that somebody reads about you, and they're hearing about these great things you did at work and these things you learned at university, but they still need to know you as a human being, and this section is what humanizes you. So you put on here things that you are interested in, your hobbies, your likes, your interests, your achievements, and this is where you put stuff that's also relevant to the job. There is no point in you putting an achievement that is not relevant for the role, or that's not going to help you. You want to leverage achievements that align with the role that you're looking for. And that is how you structure your CV, you guys. Always remember, first impressions last. The same way you decide to swipe left or right on a profile is the same way a hiring manager decides whether to put your CV on the yes pile or on the no pile. So make sure your first impression will last with that hiring manager, and remember, the structure of your CV could be the difference between a swipe left and a swipe right. I will see you guys in the next installment of the CV series. I hope you enjoyed this one. Bye.